In today's video, I introduce you guys to the largest purchase that my wife and I have ever made together. Welcome back to Enhancing Your Vehicle Ownership. I'm Nate. If you guys don't know me, go ahead and check out some of my older videos on the channel. Now, I typically do automotive related content. I'm always talking about my crazy car adventures, whether that's commuting 300 miles a week in my Audi A8 and suffering constant breakdowns for your enjoyment. I do have quite a few repair videos on the A8, so if you have an A8 or are interested in how hard an Audi is to work on, go ahead and check that out. But the purpose of today's video is to show you guys an automotive related purchase that happened or has occurred in my life. Now, this is the largest purchase that my wife and I have ever made together. It's exciting, and I want to share it with you guys. And I'm going to quit snaking you guys. I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have bought right now. Here it is. Brooklyn and I, as our most recent purchase, just bought a 1966 16-foot camp trailer. It's a super exciting purchase for us. We're outdoorsy. We like to go camping quite a bit. So the F-150 pulls it actually quite nicely. It's a single axle, weighs 2,200 pounds, and it has a whole bunch of sway bar setup and stuff. I can cover that in a later video, but it actually pulls really nicely down the highway. And for being a 1966, you guys are probably thinking, wow, you got an amazing deal. It's a fixer-upper. Yes, we did get a good deal, but the inside of the camper has been completely redone and completely restored, and being 50 some years old, it's in really good shape. I'm sure it's been redone multiple times, and at some point in its life was garage kept. And so this is the outside of our new purchase, and let me go ahead and take you guys onto the inside of the trailer to show you what a 1966 camp trailer will get you in 2020. So we're going to go ahead and enter the camper for the first time. Now, this is a 1966, so it does still have some original features like this gas lantern and some old style lighting. But this camper has been recently redone, as new as 2018-2019. The last owners were working on it. It was their grandpa's camper, so they've been trying to take really good care of it and trying to fix it up. So they slapped on a fresh coat of paint, they put down new beautiful laminate flooring, and they've put new upholstery and new cushions in here, resealed the roof and the windows, and just kind of taking care of all of the really major things that you would have to do in a 50-some-year-old camper. This is a perfect camper size for Brooklyn and I's needs. Being a 16-footer, it actually has quite a bit of storage space. So we have cupboards up here to be able to store, camp supplies. We have the kitchen cupboards up here as well to be able to put more camp supplies, cooking supplies, things like that. There's drawers down here by the oven and the sink as well. And they didn't get around to making a door for it, but we also have kind of a large compartment under the sink for if we want to add a fridge in the future or to put our cooler when we go camping or something like that. There's even a really cool cutting board right here that slides out for, meal preparation and kitchen use. Now, the previous owners did say they didn't hardly use the stove, but it works in here, as well as the heater works very well. They did not include propane bottles, so that's something that Brooklyn and I will have to get on our own. And I'm sure that this gas lantern works as well, but that's probably something that we won't use hardly ever, because it runs off of a 12-volt battery and has brand new lights here in the center, here, and also a light on the outside. This camper also has 3 different beds. One folds down from the top here that we can throw an air mattress or a sleeping pad up on. It kind of turns the whole back end of the camper into bunk beds, because the couch underneath it also folds out into the main bed here in the rear of the camper. And then at the front of the camper, this table folds down, and somehow the 2 bench seats also fold down into another or an additional bed in the front of the camper. Now, this is the perfect starter camper for a couple like us. The family that we bought this from did have an emotional attachment to the camper, but they had to sell it because their family was simply outgrowing it, and they had bought a recent camper and didn't have the room to keep this camper. They actually just went camping in it last weekend, so we're in here, we're doing a little bit of cleaning and just kind of checking things out before we take it to my cousins in Rigby to store it. We're really fond of the camper, but there are a few improvements that we would like to make. Now, the sink is a hand pump sink that runs a hose down into a jug beneath one of the benches in the front. I would like to start there. I'd like to put a larger, maybe a 30 or 50 gallon tank underneath that bench and put an electric pump in that can be run off of the 12-volt battery in the front of the camper. I would also like to add some electrical features where I could hook up a generator on the outside of the camper to run the lights, the sink, and possibly add a fridge in the future, whether that's a regular camper fridge that we could run off of gas or electricity, or maybe just a mini fridge that we have lying around. That would allow us to take an extended camping trip instead of just a weekend camp trip with a cooler, and I guess that would allow us to bring along more food and goodies with a fridge and a freezer and be able to keep that at a constant temperature or a maintained temperature. Apart from those major things, there are a few other things that we're going to do to the camper. We're planning on repainting the outside because yes, it does look old. We're also going to touch up some of the paint on the inside, probably replace a few of the curtains, add some curtains. Brooklyn's really into sewing, she enjoys that hobby, so she's going to get it fixed up all nice and cute. And yeah, we're just going to do some regular maintenance and touch up here and there with the camper, but you know, we're actually really happy about our purchase. Now, it did not come with propane tanks, as I mentioned earlier, and the family did have an emotional attachment to the camper, so we weren't able to talk them down on the price. We paid maybe a little bit more than what I feel the camper was worth, but the lady that we bought it from had 10 to 15 people messaging her on the Facebook Marketplace, waiting in line to come look at it, and they wanted it. So it kind of puts my mind at ease knowing that if I wanted to or needed to, we could sell this camper right now tonight for what we have into it, or even a little bit more. And you know, when we get it fixed up and add a few things to it, it should be worth even more. So apart from being a really fun toy and something cool that we're going to bring to the channel and to our family, it you know, it's a good camper to start with, and it should be a camper that holds its value really well, that helps us move on into a larger camper or some other toys to tow behind the truck as well. And that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and leave it a big thumbs up. If you are just as excited about our camp trailer purchase as we are, go ahead and leave a comment below telling us what you guys would like us to do with the camper, offering suggestions, and offer suggestions on future videos as well, not just modifications and things that we could do to the camper. How can we make it look cool? How can we, you know, what can we add to it to make it more functional, more usable? Go ahead and drop a comment below. Yes, we are going to have more videos of this style coming to the channel very soon, so consider subscribing to EYVO and follow me on Instagram at EYVO_auto for sneak peeks and just more content on my regular automotive life. I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope you're enjoying your vehicle ownership. I will catch you in the next video.